Hey guys, it's Goretti with Lakeview Medium and Tarot again. Trying to catch up on some videos since I've been away for a while. This one this video response is to Imogen Walters, who posted up the oracle tag of Oracle Obsessed. And it's 14 questions, all about oracles and oracle decks. So the first one is, what was first oracle deck? So what was my first oracle deck? I've mentioned it in the past, but the funny thing is that when I was digging it out, because I've retired this oracle deck, I remembered my mom giving it to me, but I am totally confusing my timeline, because I was under the assumption that she had given me my first tarot deck and my first oracle deck around the same time. But then when I was flipping through the book that came with this deck, I realized that it hadn't been released until I think the year after I got married. So I'm very wrong when I got my first oracle deck. So first tarot deck, I was 16. First oracle deck was another 10 years later. So when I was about 26. 26? And it is the Amy Brown Fairy Wisdom Oracle. I trimmed the deck because the cards were just too big. They had too big of a border. And if anybody is familiar with Amy Brown's artwork, that is all this is. It's literally just Amy Brown's artwork. And on the bottom you have the title of the artwork with a number, and that coincides with the big book that came with it. It's very whimsical. I find this one very whimsical because obviously it's Amy's artwork, and Amy Brown has very whimsical artwork. And so the book is like this. So you got a full representation on this side, black and white only, and then on this side you have literally the description of the card. A keyword at the very top. The spiel about the card and what the fairies want you to know. And then on the bottom there's a bit of a chant or an invocation or incantation, whatever you want to call it. And on the bottom, what I find really cute is on the bottom there's a sentence. And in the beginning of the book she says that she was writing the book. Let me see if I can find it. She talks about as she sits there, as she was sitting there writing her book, the fairies wanted her to put in a little note on their behalf. And so the little sentence on the bottom of each one is a little sentence from the fairy, or the whimsies like they're called to her. So Amy Brown Fairy Wisdom deck was my first oracle deck. Question number 2 is current favorite oracle. I kind of have a couple. I have a few on my altars. On my main altar I have the Isis Oracle. On my desk altar, not this work desk, the other one upstairs, my computer on it, I believe I have, what's it called? I can't remember it off the top of my head. I can't remember what it's called at the moment. But I have oracles everywhere. The ones that I have down here that I'm kind of always flipping through and stuff is the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. That's one of the ones that I like. That's the backing of it. It's obviously I think everybody's kind of seen this deck. That's one of my favorite ones. Very easy to read with. And of course it comes with a big chunky book that has interpretations of every which way, sideways, backwards, upside down. So that's one of them. The other one is the Fairies Oracle by Brian Froud. And the text is by Jessica Macbeth. And it's not the Heart of the Fairies Oracle, but the Fairies Oracle. So the one with this backing. I have a lot of fairy decks, and only because since I was little, I was one of those kids that could hear them giggle in the bushes. Especially when my family and I used to go camping a lot, and they were everywhere. So this is one of my favorite ones. This is definitely one of my favorites. Oh, dogs. It's just the wind. It's very windy here today. And so my dogs are barking at everything. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites, but I have a lot of favorites. That's why they're in my collection, or else I don't purchase them. So yeah, that's that one. Number 3, most used decks. I use all my decks. Literally use all my decks. As I've mentioned before, quiet please. Isis is on my altar. Nature's Wisdom. Damn, I'm trying to remember the one that's on my computer desk upstairs, my little mini altar upstairs. Nature's. Damn it. I'll remember. I'm pretty sure I'll remember it after I've done the video. So yeah, I don't have that. They're all my most used. Question number 4, least used deck. I have one deck only in my collection that I don't use. And I don't connect to it, but it's one of those decks that I kind of feel like I want to gift it or sell it or trade it. But then I look at it and I'm like, I should keep it because I bought it for a reason. And it's the Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tony Hartman. It's nicely packaged, right? Little pull out, right? Comes with a book that explains the cards and all the cards. So if I can get this out. There we go. Right, little book, not too bad. And it's color coded to each chakra, to each of the 7 main chakras. And each card has a legend, so a story behind each card's artwork. That helps, I guess, part of the interpretation of the the card. So that's the backing. And then the cards are just like that. Cardstock it's nice cardstock. But I just never kind of, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Should I keep it or should it go? I might pull it out again and just keep it down here when I'm watching my nieces to kind of like monkey around with it and get a feel for them again. I don't know. But yeah, as you can see, the different cards have the different chakra colors around it. But yeah, so that's my least used deck. Really least used deck. Yeah. So question number 5. How did I learn to read Oracle? I kind of learned how to read the Oracle kind of like, I guess, how I learned how to read the Tarot. I was an intuitive reader before I even picked up a Tarot deck or Oracle deck. And so I kind of used the Oracle deck, or learned the Oracle deck, kind of how I learned the Tarot, to associate my intuition with what the imagery of the card was. That's how I learned, and it just, obviously it went from there. Question number 6, what do you use Oracle cards for? Meditation, path work, obviously client works. daily draws. I use them in spells, my magical side of stuff. Yeah, that's what I use it for. I use them for everything. You can use oracle decks for anything. Question number 7. How do you read the cards? Guidebook, intuitively, or both? I do both. I'm one of those people that when I first get a deck, I will sit with my deck first before I even open the booklet that it comes with. So I can get a feel for the deck before I even have a fathom of an idea to what has it been interpreted from that deck. So yeah, definitely both. Question number 8, do you use spreads? Yes and no. If I'm doing just an oracle reading, I will do spreads. I find that with oracles, with tarot, I don't really use, it's a hit and miss. I use spreads, but a lot of the times I don't. With oracles, I find that I get better readings with spreads when I'm doing oracle than just kind of laying them out. So yeah, I do definitely do spreads with oracles, with oracle decks. Question number 9, do you mix oracle cards with other divinatory systems? Tarot, Lenormand, runes, yada, 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 etc. Yes, I do. I will usually pull out, depending on the type of reading. I've even started to include them during my mediumship readings. I'll usually pull out one card for a client sometimes to give them that extra guided kick in the pants type thing from whoever wants, who's ever come through, or from their guides. I usually do, when I'm doing tarot, I'll usually pull out 3. Mediumship, I usually pull out 1, but it all depends on what I'm being told to do. But yeah, I definitely mix them, yes. Question number 10. In your opinion, what makes for a great deck? That's hard. For me, there's a few things that make up for a really good deck. Turn around, lovey. No, you're fine, my love.
For real?
Yes, for real. For me, what makes up for a really good deck, there'd have to be a couple of things. The first one is the meanings behind the images, for example. So if you look at an image, I'm trying to think which one I can use. I don't have any of the ones that I really like down here. You have to look at the imagery of the card. Does it speak to you? Because some obviously everybody's different. Some cards don't really, or some decks, not cards, some decks don't really speak to me, but you have to look at the imagery in the deck. You have to look at what the artist or the creator, of that deck was trying to imply with their deck as a whole. It's hard to describe how I look at a deck. What makes for a great deck? I don't know. To me, it's all feeling based. And my feelings are usually right when it comes to a deck, except for the stupid bloody Chakra Wisdom Oracle. I was really into working with my chakras when I first bought it, and I thought, what a great way to kind of like work with the chakras. That bloody deck. I don't know. The decks definitely have to speak to me in order for it to be a great deck. The colors, they can't be simple. When it comes to an oracle deck, for me, I find that the more art, the better. When it comes to oracle, because it's all really intuition based. Not like the tarot, which has a specific system and a specific way in reading them. It's hard to answer. It's question number 10. Question number 11. What do you feel are the differences between tarot and oracle? I'm kind of just saying that. The tarot system, the tarot definitely has a standard form of being read. The cards have a traditional meaning of being read. And then from there you add your interpretation of the images, the interpretation of what the artist was wanting to come through on the cards. In regards to oracle, it's all intuition. There's no specific structure to an oracle deck. So that to me, I think, is the difference for it. So, question number 12. Do you have any super unusual or unique decks? No, I do not. My littlest niece is overstuffing her face. You know, to see how much food you can kind of ram into your mouth at the same time. Yeah, it's always fun to watch. No, I do not have any super unusual or unique decks, though I would love to get some. But because I use my decks, I use all my decks, it's kind of hard to just buy a deck just to keep on a shelf. I don't know. Question number 13. What's your current deck crush? There are a few that are coming out that at this moment in time, I completely blanked out on the names. There are a few that are coming out, I think it's September of this year, that I'm kind of like watching on Amazon, for, and they remind me a lot of hold on, I'll show you in a second. Brian Froud's Fairies Oracle. They're very otherworldly. It's a very otherworldly deck. Gosh, I wish I remember the name off the top of my head. But I can't. Go figure. It reminds me of these types. This type. Oh God, I wish it like that. The artwork's it reminds me a lot of this one. It's like angels. Is it angels? No, I don't know if it's angels something. I don't think it has angels in the title. But that's definitely my crush at the moment, and I'm kind of itching to get that one when it's out. I haven't pre-ordered it, but it's definitely gonna be purchased when it comes out, and that's definitely one of my current crushes at the moment. God, I wish I remember what it was called. Question number 14, last question. If you could only use one deck from now on, what would it be? No, I refuse. I refuse to use one deck. I refuse. If I had absolutely no choice, it would have to be one of my fairy ones. Probably Wisdom of the Fairies. Not this one. The one by, oh my God. Why can't I remember any of these names? Not Finesse. No. Is it Finesse? No. Oh my God. I see the box. I see the box. I see the name on the box, but Wisdom of the Wild Fairies. Wisdom of the Fairies. I think it's what it is. The one that has the fairy star on the back of the card. You guys know which one I'm talking about. I just can't remember what it's titled at the moment and who it's by. Oh my God. I'd probably use that one. Like I said, I really enjoy my fairy decks. They're so whimsical and they're just so spontaneous. Why does that not sound like a word to me? Anyways, yeah, it would have to be one of my fairy decks. For sure. Yeah, and that was all 14 questions. To Imogen's hashtag oracleobssessed. And yeah, I think that's it. I have had fun watching everybody else's Oracle Obsessed video responses, and I can tell you that my wish list for oracles is definitely growing every time I watch one of these videos because I see all these wonderful decks that I now want as well. So, all right, you guys take care, and I will see you later. Bye.